الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وضرب الله مثلا قرية كانت آمنة مطمئنة يأتيها رزقها رغدا من كل مكان فكفرت بأنعم الله فأذاقها الله لباس الجوع والخوف بما كانوا يصنعون صدق الله العظيم. In our last discussion, which we had last week, we mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, and inshallah will continue to bless us with many favors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects His servants to show appreciation and to show thankfulness to these favors. And we also explained that showing thankfulness for the favors of Allah, it is not only by saying that we thank you, O Allah. It is not only by saying that I appreciate what you have given to me, O Allah. And we find that even among ourselves, you and I as human beings, we do not look at it to be sufficient. But if a close person just says thank you when you have given something good to that person and he does not follow that thank you with good spirits, we don't accept that. If you have been very kind to a person and every time he sees you he says thank you, but yet he's causing harm to you, you will want to know what type of thanks is this. If you have given something to someone who is close, near and dear to you, so that it is used wisely, that it may be used wisely, then if that person abuses that thing, and he misuses that thing, but yet every time he comes to you, he says, thank you for what you have given to me, we say that you are not showing appreciation. Many of you are parents, many of us are parents. You take your vehicle, you give it to your son, and he begins to misuse that vehicle. He uses it in many different ways that are wrong. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't take care of it. He drives it all over the place in a very reckless and careless manner. You speak to him again and again, and after all the speaking, he says, thank you, Dad, for the vehicle you have given to me. The first thing you will say to yourself, that this person doesn't appreciate what I have given to him. So therefore, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us all these favors that we have in our bodies, in all the different limbs and organs that He has given to us, and in all that He has given to us from our worldly benefits, from the wealth, from the prosperity, from the good living, from the ability that we have, He has given to us. We have homes, we have vehicles, we have family members, and we name what we have been given one after the other. It is important that we know that we must, and we were supposed to, and we're supposed to show appreciation to Allah for these things by using it in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us to use it. This is the best manner of thankfulness and gratitude to Allah. And it is in this way the servant of Allah can really and truly show that he appreciates what Allah has given to him. Similarly, as we have spoken about our health, this health that we have, it is not in our hands. This health has been given to us by Allah. But if we destroy our health, and we abuse our own selves, and those things that are destructive to our health, we go ahead and we consume it and utilize it, thus bringing an end to our health, then we will be guilty on the day of judgment to Allah for having destroyed what He had given to us. This is why the Prophet ﷺ said, it is totally haram to cause any sort of harm to your body. Allah Himself says in the Holy Quran, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ, and do not allow your hands to take you to destruction. Do not allow your hands to take you to destruction. Do not cause harm to yourself. Do not destroy yourself. And it is for this reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an allowance in the Holy Quran to use what He has prohibited in order to save ourselves, because He does not want us to destroy what He has given to us. With respect to swine, with respect to other prohibited things, He says if you are forced on account of necessity to save your life, or you may lose a limb, and this is the last resort that you have in order to save your life, then it becomes essential that you use that prohibited thing to do what? To protect and to save yourself. To save yourself. A person came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and a few of the companions came and they complained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that while on journey, their Amir and their leader, he had the need to take a bath, a compulsory bath. But rather than taking a compulsory bath, he did tayammum and water was available. So this is not allowed if water is there, that you make tayammum. So they spoke to him about it and they complained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about it. The hadith has been recorded by Imam Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam called him and he said, your companions, what are they saying about you? And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained the complaint they had laid against him. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, why did you do that? He said, O Prophet of Allah, it was very cold. Very, very cold night. I had the need for a bath. But I know very well that if I had used that very cold water, I would have destroyed my health. And Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ, do not cause your hands to destroy yourself. So I made amal on what the allowance that Allah has given to us. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam looked at him and smiled. You know, looking at the understanding that he had in that Allah had given you an allowance. Here is it, you fear for your life. It is unlike a situation where you can get, in severe winter, you can get warm water. You will have to use that. But you are out there in the mountains, you are there on the desert, you are through the jungle, it is extreme winter, the water is as cold as ice. You fear that if you use it, and there is no warm water available, no fire to warm that water available, and you fear that if you use it, you can destroy your health. Then the allowance is there to use it, protect yourself and protect your health. On another occasion, the hadith has been recorded by Imam Abu Dawud, where on a journey, one Sahabi and companion was injured, and he had a cut on his head. The cut was wide and it was deep. He had the need to take a bath. He got up in the morning and he told the other companions, I need to take a bath. And I fear if I use the cold water, it can destroy me. So I want to perform tayammum. The other Sahabas who were there, they says, no, there is no law like that. At that time, no allowance was given. Probably, or they did not have knowledge of that. So they told him, you can't make tayammum. You must take a bath. So the Sahabi, the companion, went ahead. He took a bath, and the water, the cold, severely cold water entered into his, through the skull, because it was a deep cut and wound he had, and that killed him. When that news reached the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that information reached the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he became extremely angry, and turning towards those companions, he said, Antum qataltumuhu, it is you who had killed your brother. You who had killed your brother. If you did not know the right masla and the law, why didn't you ask? Why didn't you ask? Wasn't it sufficient for him to do tayammum rather than destroy himself? So therefore, all these incidents have been mentioned. I've quoted these to show And for us to understand to what extent Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us and allowed us to do things to protect ourselves, to protect our life, to protect our health, because these things are great favors which Allah has given to us, and we are accountable to Allah if we destroy it. This is why the scholars have mentioned that even to take something, there is a practice among people. Sometimes you want to test the sharpness of a blade, and you pass it in your hand to see if it is sharp or not. You cut yourself. This is haram. You are causing harm to your body. This body, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you this body not to cause harm to and not to destroy. So therefore, this is just one example to show us and for us to know that like our body and like our health, Allah has given us many different favors. Our wealth is a favor from Allah. We don't use it, abuse it, destroy it, waste it, and we do not be extravagant. Whatever Allah has given to us, we use it in the proper manner. And using that in the proper manner is the greatest form of gratitude to Allah. We cannot abuse it. And this includes every single thing. And my dear respected brothers and my dear sisters, as we quoted the ayah last week, the ayah that we have to go into, that ayah speaks about a very, very important thing. A very, very important thing. And for us to understand that, just as we are speaking about whatever Allah has given to us, then we must understand that we have to use it in a way that is acceptable to Allah. Use it in a way that we show gratitude to Allah. To the extent that the Prophet ﷺ himself says, Allah does not love that He blesses a person with wealth and with goodness and with prosperity, and then this person, he behaves as if he's a destitute, he behaves as if he's a beggar. Allah does not love that at all. Allah loves that you show His favors which He has given to you from yourself. Allah loves that. He has given you goodness, show it. On one occasion, the Prophet ﷺ spoke about pride. Pride in the heart, arrogance, and all these things. One Sahabi came to the Prophet ﷺ, hearing about this. He said, "O Prophet of Allah, a man loves to wear a nice pair of shoes. Is wearing a good pair of shoes, will it constitute pride? That you feel proud and you have this and have that?" The Prophet ﷺ says, Allah is beautiful and He loves to see beauty. And Allah loves to see His favors apparent on the servant. When Allah has given you something, Allah loves to see that that is clear on you. That you don't conceal it. And you don't behave as if you do not have when Allah has given to you. Like Allah has given us health, but we behave as if we are sick. Every time somebody sees us, our facial expression is like we are sick. And they are asking us, we are healthy. How are you going, brother? Oh, well, things are not going good. I'm really having a rough time. And that is not the case. This is ingratitude to Allah. So similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given many different favors. As we were speaking last week about this, that a favor from Allah is when Allah has given authority in the hands of a man. Allah has made you an amir, a leader of the community, a leader of a tribe, a leader of people, the hakim, the sultan, the leader, the commander, the president, the prime minister. That is a very great favor from Allah. That Allah has elevated the position of a person, taken him from a very low stage and carried him to a very high stage. That is an elevation from Allah. To give to people, to give them rank, to give them authority is a very, very great blessing from Allah. But seeing that that is a very great favor from Allah, then that person who has been given that rank and honor by Allah, he is required to show appreciation and thankfulness to Allah for that. His thankfulness and his gratitude to Allah and showing appreciation for that position that Allah has given to him is not in just raising our hands and say, Allah, I thank you. You have made me a person. You have made me a leader. You have made me the ruler. It's not that. But how he behaves with that authority is his appreciation. How he behaves with that authority. Now he's the ruler. Is he going to become greedy for the wealth of the people? impose taxes on the people that are unjust so that he will fill his pockets? Will he be unjust and oppressive to the people that are under him? He must now show that whether he is being fair or he is not being fair. Everything he does will show to Allah whether he appreciates that favor or not. Allah commands him now. Allah commands him to act in a certain way, to be fair to everybody, not to steal the wealth of the public, not to be unjust, oppressive, and unfair to anyone. Not to do that, but to rule with fairness, to rule with justice, look after the poor and the needy, look after those people who need something, look after their sick ones, look after the orphans, look after the old ones. All these are guidelines which Allah has given to leaders. That is normal. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded. If a man now, having that authority and power in his hand, he does not use that authority and mansab status in the manner that Allah expects from him, then that is showing ingratitude to Allah. That is showing ingratitude to Allah. That is showing no appreciation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alike, let's look at the situation of man. There will be a time in the life of a man that he doesn't have much. He prays to Allah night and day. Oh Allah, bless me, make life easy for me. And he continues in this way. And in his mind, he's saying, and he's promising from his heart also, oh Allah, if you only bless me with this, and oh Allah, only if you give me this, then inshallah I will be a good person. I will be a better person. I will help other people. I don't have today, and I expect people to help me. But oh Allah, if you give me, I will help other people. So inshallah, one day Allah gives him in abundance. Then what is the nature of man, as Allah says? Then he turns his back on the promises he has made. He forgets the poor and the needy. He forgets what he was promising to Allah that he would do. He forgets everything. And he lives a life of carelessness, and he becomes heedless. So too, people who become leaders, people who are rulers, once upon a time they are also nothing. Young boy growing up, going to school, but after 20 years he might be the president or the ruler of a nation. But while growing up, he doesn't know. He grows up like anybody else. Obviously, he wants good things to happen to him. He wants to be prosperous in life. Even at the time when a person is going up to be chosen by the other people, he thinks in his mind, I just wish they can elect me. I wish I can gain that position. I wish I can be the ruler or the minister. That is what comes through the mind of a person who is competing for a position. I hope I should get it. Doing so many things to get it. And after all the hard work, then Allah gives it to him. How does he act after getting it is what Allah is going to look at. After all these things, the promises that you make to people, after all of these things, Allah looks to see how this man will act when he has been given what he wanted. How is he going to be? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us that ayah in the Holy Quran in Surah An-Nahl, as we were speaking about. A beautiful example. The Holy Quran says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وضرب الله مثلا قرية كانت آمنة مطمئنة. Allah places before us the example of a city. Allah places before us the example of a city. The Quran says, وضرب الله, and Allah has placed before you an example, مثلا. What is the example? قرية, a city. كانت آمنة. This city was such a city, was filled with peace, was filled with security, safety on every direction. كانت آمنة مطمئنة, and the people lived a very, very happy life. The people live a life that they were contented and satisfied with everything. There was no complaint to be made. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, they lived in peace. They lived in security. They lived in safety. كانت آمنة مطمئنة. Peaceful people. They were living in peace. No robber, no thief, no criminal, nothing to cause anybody to become scared or frightened. No scare among the people. That is how the people lived in that city. This is an example Allah is bringing before us. That is how the people live. Can you imagine a city like that? Can you imagine a place like that? Full peace, subhanallah. Full protection. There is absolutely no thought that came in the mind of the people or can come in the mind of a person that somebody would do some harm. Somebody will take my property. Somebody will curse me. Somebody will abuse me. Somebody will take advantage of my family members or my children. That the thought did not even come in their mind. They lived in such safety and protection. And just besides saying Amina, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kanat Aminatan. They were, fully peaceful people. And besides that, there was a lot of peace. But they were mutma'inna. Mutma'inna refers to they the people, meaning that they were tranquil. They were in tranquility and serenity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Further than that, that is the state of the people. That is how they were. Anybody will dream of being in a situation like that. Further than that, Allah says, يَأْتِيهَا رِزْقُهَا رَغَدًا مِّن كُلِّ مَكَانٍ. Besides that, rizq, sustenance was coming to them from every direction and every place. They had absolutely no concern and worry for sustenance and nourishment. Allah says, ragadan, openly, widely, every day, sustenance was coming to them. The ground was producing. The crops will not fail. People who were doing tijarat and trade, that was also prospering. Everything that they were doing, it had a lot of barakat and blessings in it. This was an example of a people who had absolutely no problem, no concern. Rizq, Allahu Akbar. Allah says, يَأْتِيهَا رِزْقُهَا رَغَدًا مِّن كُلِّ مَكَانٍ. From every direction, rizq was coming to them. Rizq was coming to them. No concern. Everybody was living happy. Everybody enjoyed a very, very comfortable life. Rizq is in place. Sustenance, we know that is a worry for man. What is he going to eat tomorrow? He doesn't have a job today. How will he look after his family members? They never had that problem and headache for rizq and sustenance. As for security, as for protection, subhanallah, they had all of that. But then, when people become blessed with states like this, then they turn ungrateful. Then they turn ungrateful. The example is like what the Holy Quran has given of the Israelites. During the time of Musa alayhi salam, when they had to go in a direction because of the sins they committed, they were undergoing a type of punishment. They did not have food with them. They did not have water with them. They told Musa alayhi salam, O Musa, pray to your Lord that he may give us food. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa alayhi salam that he will give them food, but they ought not to stock up and hoard up. And Allah started to send manna and salwa for them, which is mentioned in the Quran. Manna and salwa. Sweet dish. Things coming to them. Birds that will appear before them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Musa alayhi salam, telling them, eat as much as you want. Use as much as you want. Allah will again provide for tomorrow. Do not hoard up. But when they started to see an abundance of these things that were coming, they started to hoard up. They started to hoard up. Greed came in their hearts. Greed came in their hearts. They started to go after it. And on account of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He caused the food to start to spoil. And that is how spoilage of food came on the face of the earth, as said by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because of this action of greediness, food started to spoil. Before that, it is mentioned in the traditions that food never used to spoil. But because of their greed, they started to hoard up and food started to spoil. So what happens is that when people see an abundance of something, greed comes in their heart. And they begin to go after it and behave greedy towards it. So this is what happened when they started to see, subhanallah, so many favors from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every direction. They started to become greedy. They started to become ungrateful to Allah. They started to reject whatever teachings came to them. What does Allah say after enjoying? After enjoying all these favors from Allah, Allah says in the Quran, فَكَفَرَتْ بِأَنْعُمِ اللَّهِ. They denied the favors of Allah. They denied the favors from Allah. All sorts of things, they started to go towards violence. Because when greed comes in the heart of a man, what's the next thing that will come? Envy, jealousy. He has more than me. This one wants to fight the other one to get what belongs to him. Then you have tribal wars. This one wants to become the leader, but the other leader of the other tribe is a greater leader. So you wage war against them. You take over them. They become into your, into what you have. Your rule they come in under. So then from one thing, many things started to happen. And when they had so much, they just became, as we say in our language, they became wild. Even starting to partake of the haram things. Even started to partake from wine and all these different things. Forgetting even the rights of people. That greed came to them to the extent that even when they did not have, they used to give people, the poor and the needy. Now that they have a lot, it built greed in their hearts that they were thinking that if they give, they will become poor. So all these things started to happen. And because of their behavior, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about that. He says, فَكَفَرَتْ بِعَنْوَمِ اللَّهِ. They then denied the favors of Allah on account of their actions. So when they denied the favors of Allah on account of their actions, what did Allah do? The Holy Quran says, فَأَذَاقَهَا اللَّهُ لِبَاسَ الْجُوعِ وَالْخَوْفِ. Allah made them taste. He made them taste hunger and starvation, and He made them taste fear. Allah removed His favors, and in place of His favors, He threw two things on them. He punished them with two things. One is hunger and starvation. Food was a problem. When once it was in abundance, now scarcity. Land is not producing. Wealth is not coming. Then they started to grow poor and destitute they became. They started to lose everything that they had. This started to go down. The other things started to go down. When they traveled, they would never be attacked by anyone on the long journeys that they undertook from one city to the other. But then, when Allah took away security, robbers and criminals waited for them on the pathway. They could not even undertake a journey for one day. They were taken, they were robbed, they were kidnapped. All their wealth was seized. All the wealth was seized. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of their ingratitude, they showed to all the favors that Allah had given to them. Allah took away those favors and He replaced it with one, hunger and starvation. And the other thing He brought upon them is fear. They started to live their lives in fear, being scared every day of what's going to happen to them. If they travel here, what will happen? When they go to sleep, what will happen to them? They started to live in fear. Allah says that these things came to them بِمَا كَانُوا يَصْنَعُونَ, on account of what they did themselves with their own hands. That is a lesson, my dear respected brothers and my dear sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah of Surah Nahl gives us an example of a city or a country that lived in comfort and luxury. Everything at their disposal. Everything ease. Anything a person wanted, it was right there at hand. But then it turned around and they started to suffer. And it is something like that which is happening in many places. Many places were given an abundance of wealth which we know about. Many places. They were given an abundance of wealth. People in these places truly lived in a lot of luxury and comfort. But with that luxury and comfort came disobedience to Allah. In these very places that we see today, uproar, raging around, fighting, violence. Some of these territories are Muslim territories, we know that. Governed by people who take the name as being Muslims. But yet, with that wealth Allah has given to them, with that authority that Allah has given to them, oppression and tyranny started. Wrong things started to be accommodated. Clubs, casino, disco, all these wrong things started to come in. The consumption of intoxicants started to come in also. All these, my dear respected brothers and sisters, these things that are happening, they all amount to ingratitude to Allah. When Allah, just as when Allah gives us a body, we should never abuse it. We should use it for obedience. Isn't that so? It means when Allah gives us wealth, we have to use it for obedience of Allah. When Allah gives us authority, we have to use it for the obedience of Allah. But if we use authority to oppress, and we use our authority to bring in the haram, because the leader, he has the authority to say what should be accommodated in his country, isn't that so? A leader, people will tempt him, outsiders will say, listen, we want to come to your country, but we can't have night dancing and these things. Only if you allow us to have this type of life, we will come in. The leader has the choice to say yes or no. As a leader, he says, yes, come in. We will make the place for you. We will have everything. But then they said, but your people don't like that. Your people will speak against us. They will want to kill us because these things are wrong for you people, you Muslims. Then the leader says, you don't worry, we will protect you. This is exactly what is happening. This is what is happening in many of these places. So that power and authority that Allah has given to some of these rulers, Allah has caused something to happen that He seizes it away from them because they have shown ingratitude to Allah for that power and authority that Allah has given to them. That is the real reason why these things are happening. That is the reason. And the Prophet ﷺ spoke about these things. And the Holy Quran also, this is why Allah gives us lessons like this. Allah says in the Holy Quran, in one surah, He says, those believers are such that if we give them authority in the land, they will implement the obedience of Allah. That is why we give them authority. But what people do instead of that? People accommodate wrong things. People encourage wrong things. And what is the most difficult for these very people to whom Allah has given so much authority is Islam becomes a threat to them. So when the Muslims are asking for this and for that, it is very difficult to give the Muslims what they are asking for because Islam has become strange to these people because they have started to get involved into the present day type of modern living like other people in the world, like the first world countries. So they see this as the enjoyment. So this what the Muslims are doing, it becomes backward. It becomes outdated and people think that we have to move with the flow of the times. But Allah is watching on. Allah is looking on. And if we want to understand that, we can understand it from a simple little thing. How many people we know, you and I know, sometimes in our own masjid, from among our family members, the father is going to masjid regularly. The father is a religious man. He's coming, he brings his son. His son is growing up in the environment of the masjid. Here in khutbah, coming for salat regularly. His father trains him like that. Then as he grows up, he starts to become older and older. Going here for education, going there for education. And then after passing through all these, the different phases of education, he becomes such a person now, he doesn't even perform a single salat, he's a changed man. Why? Because now he's tasting a different type of life. That life of coming to masjid regularly, for him is old. It is outdated. That life of performing salat 5 times a day, that has gone. He says, that was when I was young. Now it's a different type of life. Because you have a different types of friends. And because the places a person goes is a different type of place now. Everything changes. Everything changes. This is why Allah says, after He had given these people, the people of the country and the city, everything they could think about. Sustenance. Every single thing. No fear for anything. Then they denied Allah's favors by going against what Allah has given to them. No appreciation for what Allah has given to them. They started to become greedy, deny Allah's, whatever Allah has given to them, and they used to do good. They look at that as being outdated now. That has gone. Time for that has gone. How many times we see that? Young girl come into Masjid, she grows up in the environment. Come into Maktab, subhanallah, wearing, covering herself properly. But she also, like the boy, begins to go here and there. Higher education, friends are different, places are different. Deen goes, everything goes, and she goes also. No Islam. For these people now, Islam has become outdated. Islam has become like once upon a time thing for many people. People think that now this is the life. This is the life. We taste it. This is what we want. And they turn their backs on Islam. So too the same thing happens with leaders. With leaders. When they taste a type of life, comfort, luxury, mingling with other people who are dunyawi oriented, whose day and night and their life's objective is about the world. Their life's objective is about enjoyment to the peak. Their life's objective is to have a lot of power. Their life's objective is to attack anyone who seems to be a threat to them. When our Muslim leaders become friends with such people, they begin to follow the same course. And your same people that voted you in, the same people that put you as a leader, these people become your enemy now. Allah will surely remove such people. Because that is ingratitude to Allah. That is ingratitude to Allah. So this is exactly what is happening throughout the land. This will happen because anytime a man shows ingratitude to Allah and shows no appreciation for the land, for the authority, for making him a leader, then Allah will pull him down. That is what Allah has shown us in the history. We know about Ibrahim alayhi salam and Nimrod. What happened to Nimrod? We also know about Musa alayhi salam, Moses and Pharaoh. What happened to Pharaoh? And we also know about the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and opposing him were people like Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab. What became of them? Allah pulls them away. So therefore, if people are given something from Allah and they show no appreciation for that, and they do not toe the correct line, and they do not go in the right direction, it is Allah's promise that He will replace them and move them away. That is Allah's promise. That is what we see today, and we will continue to see that as long as the world exists. A lesson for you and I, we have been given a lot from Allah. Allah has given us an abundance of good things. It is for us to show appreciation to Allah for these things, and to ensure that whatever we do, how we live our lives, none of these things amount to what? Ingratitude to Allah. And it should never happen that anything we do, say, the conduct we have, our behavior, it should show to Allah that we don't appreciate what you have given to us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that which is good. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us on the right path. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to correct our actions. Wal akhir dawan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.